accusation about Jay-Z and Diddy and a teenager, 13-year-old
Right,
teenager. And we were speaking about just the statement.
Right.
The statement, you were saying you felt like that was calculated.
That was, the statement is something you can tell it was written by a lawyer. Because there's a point where it kind of gets aggressive. He says, you're gonna find out, like how I'll handle this. And that's an attorney want to be combative with another attorney. That's not like a publicist wouldn't say those things.
All right, y'all. Let's be real here. Jay-Z has done everything possible except one very simple thing. Take a DNA test. Seriously, if he's not this man's father, a quick swab of the cheek would settle the whole thing in seconds. That's all it would take. But instead of clearing his name, he's been sidestepping this situation for years. This entire mess centers around a man named Rymir Satterthwaite. He's been saying for a long time that Jay-Z is his dad.
So much in running, and it just really dawned on me. It's the man that my mom was underage when she consumed me. Anyone who'd have been older.
And this isn't some new thing. Rymir has been filing lawsuits, showing up in court, and still hasn't gotten a straight answer. Jay-Z? He's remained silent, refusing to take that one simple test. But now, things are starting to heat up in a major way. Why? Because 50 Cent just stepped into the situation. And if you know anything about 50, you know he doesn't just get involved for laughs. When he moves, it's with a purpose. He's now helping Rymir with legal support. But before we dive into what 50's doing now, let's take a few steps back. Jay-Z has been avoiding this issue for years. And when you hear all the details, it starts to look more than suspicious. It starts to look like there's something deeper going on. Let's begin with Rymir Satterthwaite, the man in the middle of all of this. According to him, his mother, Wanda Satterthwaite, told him when he was just 8 years old that Jay-Z was his biological father.
It's fast for money. I don't do interviews just saying, hey, Jay-Z, give me your money, or I'm coming at the Jay-Z for his money. I never did that. I'm not that type of person. I'm not trying to make nobody seem like a bad person or nothing. I'm just really coming out here for the truth. I don't want no money or anything. I wasn't looking for none of that. I just want to know the truth. And if I can't go to the courts and get the truth, like, what is it really, why are you, what is it? I just really want it over. It's something that's really affecting my life, and I just want it over.
Now, that's not something a mother just says for fun. Wanda has even shared her side of the story. She says she and Jay-Z had a relationship back in the early 1990s. At the time, she was around 15 or 16 years old, and Jay-Z was about 22. Let that sit for a second. If Wanda is telling the truth, we're not just talking about a case of possible paternity. We're also talking about something much more serious, a situation involving a teenage girl and an adult man. That would raise major legal and moral questions. And maybe that's part of the reason Jay-Z has stayed so quiet. Because this isn't just about a DNA test. It could lead to far more troubling questions if it turns out to be true. At first, Rymir didn't go public. He tried to reach out to Jay-Z privately, hoping to get answers without causing a media circus. But after being ignored, he turned to the courts.
It's like this, like Black excellence, they're sitting there like, yeah. It's the billionaire brunch, you're like,
I hate you, man.
unaware of anything going on here. This is the one time I'm gonna be with you this year.
And even now, Rymir isn't asking for money. He's not trying to become famous. All he wants is the truth. He just wants to know where he came from, who his father really is. That's it. But Jay-Z's silence has been louder than any denial. Even more frustrating, Jay has never taken a DNA test. Not once. Despite all the noise, all the legal motions, and all the headlines, there's still been no test. Instead, his legal team has spent years fighting Rymir in court, not by proving Jay's innocence, but by using technicalities to shut down the case.
Do you believe wholeheartedly that Jay's your father?
I really do. And if it's not, why you can't prove me wrong? Like, it's not far as a proving me wrong thing. It's go to the courtroom and basically do what everybody else would have to do. Like, it's not, you don't have to prove me wrong. I just want the truth. Honestly, I can take a no. I can take, if I'm embarrassed at the end of the day, I can take that. I really can. I've been through a lot. I've seen a lot. I can take me being embarrassed. Like, this can't take nobody not saying nothing. Like, you know, it's not fair.
For example, They argued that Jay-Z doesn't own any property in New Jersey, which would mean the courts there don't have the right to take up the case. But Rymir's lawyers came back with evidence that contradicted that. So again, the big question remains, why fight so hard to avoid a simple DNA test if there's nothing to hide? If Jay-Z truly believes he's not Rymir's father, taking a test would have ended this years ago. Instead, it keeps dragging on. Meanwhile, Rymir has mostly funded his fight himself. He's used GoFundMe and relied on help from friends. Compare that to Jay-Z, who's a billionaire with access to the best attorneys money can buy. It's like David going up against Goliath. But still, the battle continues. And just when it looked like Rymir might be running out of options, someone unexpected showed up. Enter 50 Cent. And when 50 steps into something, he does it big. At first, he did what he always does, made a few jokes on social media. He posted side-by-side pictures of Jay-Z and Rymir, pointing out how much they look alike, especially their noses. And honestly, the resemblance is hard to ignore. But 50 didn't stop at jokes. He went further. He offered Rymir legal help, real support. He said he'd connect him with lawyers who could actually go toe-to-toe with Jay-Z's high-powered team. This wasn't just some attention grab. 50 Cent is putting serious resources behind Rymir's case. And then, in classic 50 fashion, he dropped a line that had everybody talking. A good lawyer knows the law. A great lawyer knows the judge. Not long after that, Jay-Z's legal team started scrambling. More court filings, more motions, clearly trying to stay ahead of whatever 50 was planning. It's almost like 50's involvement made them realize this wasn't going away quietly. But here's where it gets dark. Rymir and his legal guardian, Dr. Lily Coley, have said that this isn't just about DNA or courtrooms anymore. They claim they've been harassed, followed, and even threatened. One of the most terrifying incidents? Rymir says he was sitting in his parked car when someone fired bullets at it. None of the other cars nearby were touched, just his. That doesn't sound random. Dr. Coley says strange cars have shown up outside her home, sometimes late at night. On one occasion, she says a car drove onto her lawn at 4 a.m. and just sat there like it was trying to intimidate her. There have been multiple incidents like this. People slowly driving by, watching the house, creepy stuff meant to scare. What makes it even more disturbing is the timing. These events started happening right after Rymir refiled his lawsuit against Jay-Z. That's a major red flag. It's hard to chalk all of this up to coincidence. We've seen situations like this before, where pressure builds and suddenly people withdraw lawsuits or go silent. It's a pattern, and it's frightening. But it doesn't stop there. Some believe Jay-Z isn't avoiding the DNA test just because of Rymir. There's a rumor out there, a more disturbing theory. Some folks think that if Jay-Z's DNA enters the legal system, it might not only confirm fatherhood, it could trigger other investigations. There's talk of old lawsuits, like one involving a woman who said Jay-Z and Diddy abused her when she was just 13 years old. That case eventually got dropped, but the woman later said she was threatened and pressured into backing down. She mentioned names, and Jay-Z's name was in the original paperwork. But if you try to find that case now, it's almost like it never existed. It's been buried so deep you'd think it never happened. And let's be honest, why isn't mainstream media covering any of this? A man claims to be the son of one of the most famous rappers in the world. He has court documents, claims of harassment, and even a shooting incident, and yet the media is silent. That's strange. Really strange. So now we're left wondering, who's keeping this story quiet? What's powerful is that Rymir isn't demanding a payout. He isn't chasing a spotlight. He said, plain and simple, that if a DNA test proves Jay-Z isn't his dad, he'll walk away and never bring it up again. That kind of honesty hits different. People who lie usually follow the money. But Rymir is the one losing money, spending years in court, and going through all this stress. And now, this fight has gone even further. Rymir and Dr. Coley aren't just battling Jay-Z anymore. They're challenging the entire New Jersey legal system. That's right, they filed lawsuits against several judges and state officials. They're saying the courts haven't just ignored their case, they've actively blocked it. They claim important documents were mishandled. Court records went missing. Real estate paperwork was misrepresented. And Dr. Coley says she was stripped of her legal rights as Rymir's guardian without cause. These aren't just accusations, they've gathered years' worth of paperwork, timelines, and evidence. Every time they got close to forcing a DNA test, something mysterious would happen to delay the process. Let's be real. People don't sue judges unless they've got something strong. It's not something you do lightly. But Rymir and Dr. Coley are serious. They've stayed in this fight long after most would have given up. And now, they're pushing for real change. They're trying to pass a law called the Pro Se Equal Access to Justice Act. This law would give people representing themselves in court the same opportunities as people with expensive attorneys. Right now, it's clear if you're rich, you have a huge advantage. And they want to level the playing field. So, what started as one young man asking for the truth about his father has turned into a mission to expose how the legal system can be used to protect celebrities and hurt regular people. They're not just suing, they're trying to change the system. And all of this makes you wonder, why hasn't Jay-Z just taken the test and put all of this to rest? Now I'm passing it over to y'all. What do you really think is going on? Is Jay-Z hiding something bigger? Or is this just a huge misunderstanding that got out of control? Do you think 50 Cent is just being 50 stirring the pot? Or is he actually helping reveal the truth? And what about Rymir and Dr. Coley going up against the court system? That takes guts. So drop your thoughts in the comments. I really want to hear what you think. And if you're into stories that go deeper than what the headlines say, hit that like button and subscribe for more.